welcome back to my channel. Today is day 27 of Sewtember. Can you believe it? We are at the end of the month and I hope y'all are enjoying our project process. I thought that you and I could really enjoy creating a little zipper bag, a nice accessory, a wristlet style zipper bag, something that you can use in your day-to-day life, running to the store, running some errands, going to work. You could create a variety of these for gifts and for yourself. Today we'll trim our embroidery pieces and we'll create our handle. Let's trim and create our handle. It's time for us to trim our pieces for our zipper bag. I'll set aside 2 of them and we'll trim one by one. Now I selected, like I said, a thread that really just is lost within the fabric that I've chosen. Here's the front and here's the back. What we'll do is use that outer stitch line as a reference point to cut accurately on all 4 edges. I really like having a straight line along the outer edges. And if you will notice, if you have a machine like mine, I chose to place the outline to on in the IQ Designer before we ended up finishing up and stitching it. And that really helps whenever you're embroidering the motif itself to stitch more accurately. You'll have less option for little cuts here and there. Since we've turned on the outline feature, it helps it travel around the design as it's quilting. And it just gives it an easier process all the way through and less jump stitches. But you'll notice that whenever I was designing it, I also created a rectangle. And that's a habit of mine, and I always include it just so, again, I have a nice accurate outline to trim from. We'll take our ruler and we'll trim using the stitch line as a reference 1/4 inch from the line out. I'll place my 1/4 mark right on top of the stitched line and trim. We'll repeat this process on all 4 sides and on all 3 of our pieces. our back, our top front, and our bottom front, all trimmed nice and neat. We need that extra seam allowance below the bottom of the top front and above the top front to allow for our seam allowance to insert our zipper. To create the handle on our zipper bag, I'll use my belt loop binder. I've cut a strip of fabric that measures 1 inch by 13 inches. Once we've finished creating our strip, we'll fold it in half, and this will be the length of our strip. I like about a 5.5 inch strip once it's finished, so that's why I've created the strip a bit longer. If you want a longer strap or handle, you could cut your strip longer than this. If you don't have the serger or the accessory that I have that I'll be creating my strap with, you could use some ribbon, some type of trim that you've purchased. So look in your stash or see what you have that'll coordinate with your zipper bag. When creating my handle with the belt loop binder, I like to use 3 needles. My machine is set for a cover hem. I like to test, so we'll start with a scrap piece of fabric that I've cut the same width of our strap itself. I like to take the end of the fabric, fold it in half, wrong sides together, and then cut a point. I've placed my attachment onto my serger. I've centered the mouth of the attachment in front of the first 3 notches on the tips of the toe. Those are the notches that represent cover chain stitch needle 1, 2, and 3 on my serger. I want these stitches to be centered within my belt loop binder strip. We'll place our fabric within our attachment right side up. I'll start slipping it into the attachment. I need to raise my presser foot and then slip it gently up so that it is positioned up underneath the presser foot as close to under the needles as I can. Then I'll lower the presser foot and we'll stitch a test stitch. I'll cut off some of my strip to take a look and see if I like the way it looks. It looks like my stitches are a little too far to the left, so I'll scoot my attachment over to the left so that we'll center the stitches in the center of the strip. Might still need to scoot it a little bit more to the left, just a itty bitty bit. I like the way that looks. It always pays to test. Now that we've tested, we'll grab the strip that we've cut specifically for our strap, our handle. Again, I'll fold it in half, wrong sides together, and then I'll cut a point. I like to cut the point from the folded edge down. That'll give us that point in the middle. I'll raise that presser foot up again. Place the strip in the attachment right side up and gently coax it up underneath the presser foot. I'll bring my needles up. That way I can place the strip up underneath the tips of the needles. And it's also a good practice to bring the strip up underneath the needles, just past the tips. And you can use your tweezers for that as well. I have tweezers that came with my serger. Now I'll lower my presser foot and we'll serge all the way down our strip. I think our strap will coordinate beautifully with our zipper bag. Thanks for watching today. Make sure you show me your sew and hashtag on Instagram, Sewtember. Post in my Facebook group. Make sure you've joined. If you haven't, join today. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and like this tutorial. I really appreciate it. And I'm really enjoying your comments and having you along with me for Sewtember. I'll see you tomorrow for day 28.